My name is Suzy Schultz, and I'm an artist in Atlanta. I am a painter, and I work in the mediums of watercolor and oil, and I also do some drawing and some etching. I was contacted by the curator that said that she had wanted to put one of my paintings called Longing for Flight in an exhibition in Poland in the ambassador's residence in Warsaw. And the theme is on dance. And I had done a photo shoot with a friend of mine who I had thought would make, she has a wonderful face. And I felt like I could do a really good painting of her. And so we did a photo shoot in a former studio of mine, and there was an abstract painting on the wall. And so it almost looked like wings. And so when I captured some of that background, it looked like she had wings. And so I titled it Longing for Flight. I had been very inspired by the photography of the website called Ashes and Snow. And there was one video that I saw that was a woman, and she was doing a dance with these feathers, and this huge bird flew overhead. And so I wanted to capture some of that feeling of that dance as she was interacting with that bird. You know, with everything that's going on right now, I almost feel like there's an even greater need for art and for a reminder of what's beautiful. And I'm really moved that my work is going over there and is going to be a part of such a prominent person's home. I don't always know why I paint what I paint. I just know that there are things that I see that put a lump in my throat. And after I've painted something for a period of time, it sort of dawns on me, oh, that's why I'm painting that. And one of the things that I've discovered is that I am drawn to people that have gone through some sort of trial or hardship, and maybe are even still going through trials and hardships. But those hardships have created a dignity or a resilience or a beauty in them that is a stronger beauty. And I heard this term years and years ago. I believe it was a French theologian that talked about a second innocence. And there was something about that that really stuck with me. And I realized that that's kind of what I'm looking for, is that second innocence that is sort of, there's a first innocence where, you haven't gone through darkness or you haven't gone through brokenness, and there's a beauty to that, a purity. But there's also a second innocence that can result from going through those fires and going through those difficult times and coming out on the other end and discovering that you have a resilience or discovering that you have a strength that wasn't there before. And so those are the types of subjects that I'm drawn to. And I think because I have this hope that what I see in them, I will also see in myself as I go through struggles as well. I was introduced to someone who was working at the Presbyterian Missions Agency who saw some of my work and said, well, why don't you come in and start doing some drawings for our brochures, and why don't you come in and learn the Mac? So I think he recognized that I had some sort of talent, and his gift is investing in people, and he invested in me as an artist. And so I ended up working there for 6 years. And during that time, I started painting. And after I'd been there for 6 years, he said, if you stay, you'll be doing proofing and typesetting and you won't be painting much. And you really need to paint full time. So your job is over in 2 months. And I knew he was right. And so I was there for another 2 months, and then I left and I found studio space. That was back in the end of 1995. And so I just started trying to figure out how I could make money doing the work that I wanted to do. It was very terrifying. I feel like I had a dark couple of years just because it was all up to me to make money and pay my bills. And I didn't want to, be out on the street or move back in with my parents or fail at being an artist. And so it was good that I had a studio. It made me go into the studio and keep regular hours. And all of a sudden there was something that was more intimidating than the blank canvas. And so I just went in and just worked and worked and worked, and was able to support myself as an artist. But yeah, going into such a different environment was an adjustment. And but looking back, I'm very thankful that I'm in that environment now. And I can't imagine being back in the world that I was in before. And I love being an artist full time, even though it's difficult. It's still very difficult. I'm still trying to figure out, where my work needs to go and what shows I need to enter and what galleries I need to approach. But I'm sure that'll always be part of it. But I love that I'm able to create and make the work that I'm